messages and listening to people talking utterances that do not match Her Excellency's statement. So, Mr. George Noble, welcome to studio. And I see Mr. Wulu. Mr. Noble, what's in your area?
Well, here is fine. It's great. I went out today. No, that's a great day. No, the heat was not too much, and look like we're getting some changes. So Philadelphia is great. Uh, uh, I think what on my mind, or I've already expressed that in the chat room. So that's it. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful to hear your voice again. Yesterday we were on marching along the corridors of the radio landscape. Mr. Ware, I see you on set. What's happening? What's happening within your area? Is Mr. Ware?
Okay, okay, thanks so much, Mr. Nepe. It's great, being with you guys. Yeah, what I was home, I should have been with you, but due to other, I think the reason that have to do with the body. But I'm so great and happy to be here. A grand Jada is doing well, and that is the simple saying of Liberian. I'm okay even if I'm sick, because we think that if we say we are sick, you will not like to be around us. But Grand Jada is doing well, while we have a signal within Grand Jada County. What do I mean? Somebody want to know. Grand Jada is struggling to find the two missing brother plus other brother that got missing. But however, businesses are running, traffics are running, but we are seeking, the effort of the government, our local government, international government, even the concerned citizen that say they remain on their word, but they just respected the words of their representative and senator to speak to them, say, you guys should hold back. But for where we sit, other community have major problem where we have, excavator passing and destroying their bridge, and no one to speak for them. But however, as when it comes to a bed to D4 and other platform or Top FM, stand to preach the messages, yeah, opening the minds, idea, and also what we call changing minds and attitude when it comes to our people. So the fact that the people want to follow the rightful procedures, they want to follow the right way. But where I stand, Grand Jada is good, and we thank God that everything is okay. Thank you so much.
Fantastic photo, picture of what is in the Zulu whiskey area. But I want to ask you: are there bottles breaking again? Because we heard that the chief was chance zoning while this thing is happening, while they're getting himself filtered watered down with some alcohol. How is that?
I can't speak to that now. I don't have much information, so maybe my friend and brother who and me resided in Grand Gate County will speak to that. But the fact that Israel is okay. Thank you.
Wonderful, Mr. Ulu, I see you on set, Mr. Ulu. Is Mr. Ulu there? Yeah, let us know what is on your mind. How is your area? How's your family? How's your area? How's the weather in your area?
Yeah, we don't go for last. The US okay. Whatever my school year on every for this season. We didn't prepare with
This he has some glitches in his. Oh my God. Well, let's start. Let's keep the ball rolling right away. We are six today, so we go in the order from left to right. So we come to Mr. Castle. Mr. Castle, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind? Good question. Let's restrict it to Liberia. What's on my mind with regards to Liberia? I guess that's what you mean, because I got so many thoughts in my head. If it personal thoughts, but
Well, you can make it to a sandwich. That would be all right. I mean, that would be complimentary kind of what's on your mind. So you know the sandwich has two layers, and then the beef goes in the center.
Yeah, let me just say what's on my mind. I mean, I was just reading about the burning of the cocaine in Liberia, and I thought that was interesting. That you have not taken the people to court yet. But the evidence, you go and find the evidence. I've never seen that before. I haven't seen that before. Because it's the evidence you would take the members of the jury. You would take them to where they got the cocaine, say, this is what they brought into our country, this is what it does. That's how you put people on trial. That's the graphic evidence right there.
The couple is later.
Well, let me finish. At least they had to do it, in Western countries. Okay? These people are being arrested. At some point, I hope some of them be incarcerated for doing that because of the drugs they brought in. But if you just off the bat go and destroy all the drugs and burn it, then what evidence you got to show to the public or to the jury? I know Mr. Nepe don't agree with me, but go ahead.
No, I'm in a pensive mood. Because the prosecuting attorney will want to present the couple's deleter, the body of the crime, before the jurors and the judge. So if you say John Doe died, but John Doe body, no photograph, nothing, Peter Brown stole and nothing was caught on him. If they go into you, then one can truly surmise where this case is going to the realm of not being a case. That's why I was contemplating on when you were talking.
Yeah, I suspect that's what they're trying to do, because it just don't make any sense. You say you're arresting these people, you say, oh, why we're in the process of arresting. Then the so-called fruit of crime, you destroy all. They almost like you're working in partnership with the traffickers. Because
in other words, that equates to what was done during the CDC administration, where the $200,000 were turned over to the corporates and told them, run away. You can't be here. Just take your $200,000 and go.
But that ain't right there.
Oh my God.
That ain't right
there. My God.
I mean, when I saw it in the morning, I just couldn't believe what I was looking at.
But then you cannot. People don't usually burn cocaine because cocaine is very hallucinogenic, and so atmospherically, therefore, what they will be doing, they will be having the people will be sniffing the same very cocaine.
Also, my that do, I show you by what you're saying, is just go there with a shovel after all of them leave, and go and sift through that trash they say the cocaine trash. I'm sure you can sift through that. You can sift high-grade cocaine from right there. I mean, the whole thing don't make any sense. It just complete ass backwards.
But let's continue. Mr. George Nubo, speak to me on what's on your mind.
What's on my mind has to do with the burning of the cocaine and also the statement made by former Speaker Chambers that we should, revive capital punishment for drug traffickers. Those are the things that are on my mind. Like Kacha said, I was thinking about that. And on the radio, they said that they took a representative sample of each of the categories, and it went through the judiciary to give the approval to burn the drugs. But what it did is very dangerous for the people of Mangibi and beyond. In other countries, they can use this hazardous waste incinerator to not this incinerator that is used to cremate body because it does not have that temperature. With a high temperature, it has pollution control, or it has everything. But what it did today, it's outrageous. People who have asthma in that area, it will go up. And then the dust, the ashes, the particular matters that fall on the leaves, fall on crops in our garden, and the ashes when it rains, that will go to pollute our creeks. And we drink water from running creeks. So what they did to me is dangerous. I just posted my stand in a chat room. Thank you.
I hear you say that they got a sample. Maybe the sample was a teaspoon of each quantity of the $323 million worth of contrabands.
Mhm.
But did they tell you that they went to the doctors, the Ministry of Health, and all of those things? Did they do any scientific scientific uh, analysis on the drug
They,
before burning
they,
it? Or God?
they took a grip with some tubes. It said it's from the United Nations, and they added some powder to it and shook it 3 times, and the water turned blue, and they were able to, at least according to them, to tell what kind of drugs it was. So that's what I saw. And they said, no, EPA gave them the go ahead to do the open burning. Here, not even here in Philadelphia, not even drugs. For you to burn dirt in your yard or burn bush, we have to penalize you. But that's what they did today with dangerous substance. And it says, okay, we are EPA.
But
Go ahead.
if the case is to go to court,
Go ahead.
I am not a lawyer. I would have wished a lawyer was on set. If the case, that is subjunctively now. I'm subjunctively speaking. If the case were to go to court, Mr. Kasser, if the case were to go to court, do you think those teaspoons of uh, sample that they took will be evidence strong enough to convict the traffickers or the two white people and all of the people that are connected to the case?
Uh, uh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. It's uh, that's why I said previously, in that sort of situation, you wait until after the trial, you got a rock solid verdict, then you dispose of the evidence, whatever way you want. Uh, at least I know that's how they do it in the United States. No, but in Liberia, we got our own way of doing things. Uh, you remember the last time, what was it, the $100 million cocaine during Weir time? What they did? Took $250,000 from the man, and from I think there were two or three of them. But they ended up giving them the $250,000 back, and the people get disappeared. Nobody know where it went. You remember that story, Mr. Nippy?
Yeah.
I remember. I spoke on it. How the previous government gave the people to back the money, and they told them get from here, go back.
And the people get disappeared. So we got a very, very sad history when it comes to these transshipment from Colombia going to how they call it, going to Europe. Our history very, because those people, what they usually do when they enter these countries, the small developing countries like Liberia, Sierra Leone, what's the other one, Guinea-Bissau, they make sure that they have a very strong connection with in the ruling class. And in Liberia, when you speak of ruling class, you're talking about people within the government, right? The movers and
Right.
shit. Yeah.
Right.
For many years, look what happened to Guinea-Bissau. Coup over coup over coup. And who were behind some of those coups? It was the Latin American cartel. I mean, there was a situation they took their drugs, right? When I put it to wherever, warehouse and whatever, and the government went, took the drugs and gave it back to them. I'm not making anything up, just, Google it. Just Google, say, Guinea-Bissau narco state. Now, all you got to do, and then you will see the evidence that there was this situation what they call state capture. That the cartel actually captured that state because they had all the the movers and shakers within the country, the political movers and shakers in their pocket, because those guys, we're talking billions of dollars, right? They can take $1 million and give it to the man who in charge of the port and whatnot. $1 million cash. So okay, that $1 million for you. Or what we do offshore, we'll put another $1 million there for you. That $1 million will give you. You take care of your staff there. When our shipment come in, the people in West Africa, they're poor. They can't afford to snort cocaine. It's very expensive. Even in the United States, yeah. The poor people don't try cocaine because it's very expensive. It's the elites, they don't want to do that stuff. So once they make that sort of payment, $1 million can go a long way in these West African countries. So take care of the people at the port. When our shipment come in, you turn your eye, you don't see nothing. And what happened? Because look what even in how they call it place, Antwerp. In Antwerp, Belgium. They infiltrated the port. They actually control the port. So all that stuff you see that was in transshipment from Sierra Leone, the hotspots in West Africa, Guinea-Bissau and Liberia. That's where they're going. They took over the port. Don't take my word for it. Just Google it. You will see Antwerp and narcotics. They have infiltrated it. In fact, they were just having the Belgian government were just having a conference call with journalists. Because journalists were asking, "Are we now a narco state?" To show you how those guys are powerful. If they can do it to a European country like Belgium, what about this small Liberia?
Let me hold you there and get to Chris, to Mr. Wulu.
Let me
Mr.
come with some clarification.
Uh-huh.
The $250,000 was not returned. The government only returned $113,000 after the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the traffickers, the alleged traffickers. So out of
Mm.
50, they only returned $113,000.
Okay. But at least they return a very sizable portion back to them.
Right. But so we can just
They charge
say to ourselves here and to our audience that the money that was in the bag might have been given back to the people. These people who just came recently, because let me ask you. Let me turn this thing over to the host, because I have my own thing to say. Mr. Wright. Oh, he's not ready. No.
I think he want you to continue.
Okay. Mr. Wulu, let's bring the young man, because we getting off the stage gradually. We're fading into, and we might go into oblivion in the next couple of years. But let me get your thought, Mr. Wulu, Alex Wulu. What say you on what Mr. Cassell is saying? Mr. Alex Wulu? Mr. Alex? Why don't you change your position? Change your position. Oh my God. All right, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you, because we're going. We'll come back to you, Mr. Wu. Let's go to Mr. Nubo. Mr. Nubo, you get. Somebody has his microphone on. Please mute. Somebody has his microphone on. Please mute.
That's Chris.
Mr. George
Yes.
Nubo.
Yes.
We were on this set just on a fortnight ago, or 2 fortnights ago, when you mentioned about the $100 million cocaine that was allegedly sent to court, and money returned, 110,000 or so. And at the same time, it was reported that over $200 million worth of cocaine was floating somewhere in Cape Palmas. And and a noble person flew there with his sports. Speak to us on that and tie it in with this current case. Do you speak to us on both issues?
Well, that one, there was, I believe there were no.
Because when you add that to the 100 million, it's about the same thing, 300 million. So we're talking about 60% of $1 billion that have transited through the corridors of the Republic of Liberia. So
Yes.
how do you so
Well,
I want you to speak to that.
What I heard is that the authorities in Hapo intervened and confiscated some of the drugs, but I didn't hear about any burning exercises. I didn't hear about. I didn't hear about people. I heard a few people got arrested from the town, and I know they're free. I
Mm,
heard, I know several people bought, from the town bought motorbikes, and
mm,
and certain government officials went there during that time, and were there, in the county, for 2 weeks on a county tour.
mm,
So no,
mm,
so that what happened. That what happened. That what I know. I mean, there was an article in a perspective. I will look for it, and post it one of these days about the discovery, in Maryland County. And I think there was another drug thing in the county, uh, but I don't remember the detail. So yes, it could be, it could be the same drugs, or they are using the same route. They're using the same route. And according to information, they said that these people were chased from Ivory Coast,
mm,
and they had to, drop their their bags in the ocean, and these were floating.
mm.
And so the people, I guess, some people got drunk because they had a taster to see why is this. Yeah.
All right, let me hold you right there and go to Mr. Ware, Chris B. Ware.
Yes, let's go, Mr. Ware.
Mr. Chris B. Ware, Mr. Ware, Mr. Ware, Mr. Chris B. Ware.
Unmute yourself.
Chris, please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. All right, Mr. Chris B. Ware, you're a young man. And I think you started off with what was on your mind. And cocaine, a sizable quantity of cocaine, $300 million. What do you think is happening in our country
Okay.
and could
Thank
be
you.
happening to the young people?
Thank you.
We're going hard again.
Yeah.
It
Is everything,
looks,
is
it,
everything
loo-
okay?
it looks like we've lost Chris. So we come to you, Mr.
Chris,
Wright.
Chris is coming back. Yeah, he's right here now.
Is there now?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. What were you trying to ask me, Mr. Nippy? Oh,
No,
sorry, Chris. Sorry.
you said Chris is on. You're in transition when you start. Let him continue.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. That's this too is Liberia. So they try to manage. Let me try. Let me concur with Mr. J.M. Kaxi. Yes, indeed. Uh, we're talking about, you know, issues that are going to court, the law. When we talk about evidence, the evidence need to be shown to even the juror. So you have not yet gone to court, and then you burning the evidence. What will you show? I look at that. It simply means destroying evidence. Are you
Man, is it raining out to your on that side?
are you going to bring the gun or chunk the gun away and bring photo?
Man, is it
So the fact that the evidence, the
raining out to
ev-
your on that side?
Right.
the evidence need to be shown. So if you say that, yeah,
Chris is frozen, and let's come to you, Mr. Wright. We just come backward so we can go to Mr. 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 Cassell. Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, please unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Mr. Nubo always say, yeah. You were in the background and you heard everything that was being said. In the background and you
yeah,
someone still has his microphone open.
Mr. Numbo, Mr. Nepe, Mr. Wright, just you are muted.
No, you
What
go.
I
I
was
didn't mute
saying, I don't know you guys getting me, but we have a little, tricky weather here. The rain
Okay.
is falling, so the network is very bad. Yes,
Okay.
indeed. So
Okay.
yeah.
you. All right.
That's understandable. Yeah, let me go to Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, if we took the W from your name, we'll be talking RIGHT. Yeah, in life, we want to do the right thing, and we
Yes.
want to do the proper thing. We don't want to do things that are mixed matched.
That's for sure.
So, what are your thoughts? Because Mr. Casa just brought on this set a vital information, vital in the sense that what was to be shown to the jurors and to the judge and to the public personnel, including the press that would have been in court, was gutted by fire. Intentionally, they put it on fire. What say you about the action of the security sector in Liberia?
Well, thank you. That's a great question. First of all, let establish.
And then you can take over.
Oh no! You're going to stay with you, sir. Let establish whether or not any laws were broken. Let's do that. Can Mr. Cassell or anybody on set tell her that the burning of the cocaine today, of the drugs today, violated any standing law or laws? If we can establish that, Mr. Nippon, then we can feed off of that. I can understand. I heard Mr. Cassell speaking that the evidence was supposed to be presented to the jury, or they should have waited after the case was adjudicated. Then they can go and burn the evidence, or burn the seized evidence. But that ain't happened. But did this act violate any law, or are we just looking at it from the surface and not understanding that there are seasoned people, professional security officers, lawyers, because the Justice Ministry was involved into that. It sounds like I am, taking PI's job now. But I want to say, as we question what happened today, let make sure that we are doing so based on the law, because it's a serious business. then I don't think you're taking it serious, but I think it's serious business. And if we can establish that, I'll be the first one you're extremely on top of my lungs, Mr. Nippet.
But the fact of the matter, whether we can or will be able to establish that, what say you about the conduct?
Well, first of all, I side with Mr. Nubo. I think it was environmentally bad for them to have, because we all know what a drug can do, right? You don't have to sniff the real physical product in. All you got to do is inhale it, and you're good. You know, you're high for a couple of hours, a couple of days. You know, and did they do this in a completely isolated area? You know, how many miles is away from that place from residential area? How many miles?
Hey,
And this is smoke. It travels faster, you know, than sound. That thing gets in the air before you know it. It's going to take you over a whole territory, you know.
Mr. Right.
Yeah, let me end, Mr. Casadio. Let me finish the one you're coming, sir. There was the Wi-Fi in Canada.
Actually, it's a building, like a school building, where they burn the drugs.
Can you imagine that?
When you
That
look
is
at it,
criminal.
you see the building behind it.
Do we have pictures who can be able to put the thing up? Do we have any pictures for that? The school building? You know. Right, because if the burner thing, you know, beside a school building, then that is criminal. People should be held responsible. That community that you sued the central government.
You know, be all right. You know, say nothing
They
wrong.
should be taking people to court
They say, we can't take
because that is criminal. Now, smoke is going to travel in the air and it's going to affect people, young children, the elderly, people who are vulnerable to these kind of things. They are going to be held. I mean, they are going to be affected by this. So that is my perspective on that. Environmentally, it was wrong. You know, health-wise, it was wrong. Legally, I don't know. I hold my judgment on that until somebody can tell me they violated a law, a standing law, by burning those drugs.
Let me hold you there, go to Mr. Cassidy. Mr. Cassidy, you wanted to say something?
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Wright were asking if they violated any law. They actually violated the law of common sense. And this is something that has been plaguing Liberian law enforcement. Let me tell you a situation that goes way back in the 70s. Okay, I was a teenager at that time. There's a man called, and I showed Mr. Nippy.
Oh, okay, I will
I
tell
don't
you.
know about it. There was a mass shooting down Waterside, right?
Mm-hmm.
A man who felt that he was wrong, and he took his single barrel rifle and he went and he shot so many people, killed so many people. Zobanjo, they call him.
Sobanjo.
Right. At the same time, the Liberian police came and started shooting at Zobanjo.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people that Zobanjo killed were Mandingo people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The case went to trial. There was a Liberian lawyer called Joseph Chesson.
Mm-hmm.
He saw the gap right there, the opportunity to free Zobanjo. So you know what he did? He went to, when the case went to trial, he asked the police to present the evidence that the bullet used to kill the people came from Zobanjo rifle. Because Zobanjo said, I never shot anybody, I never killed anybody. He said that the police will kill other people.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? All the Mandingo people that were killed, a lot of them were from Guinea. They took all the body because they're Muslim people, right? You go bury the body, you don't go and undig body for forensic purpose. And guess what, Mr. Wright? Zobanjo walked. Because the Liberian police at that time, they knew nothing about forensics. So they asked, Chesson asked them, you pick up the bullets or anything, you to take it to a lab. He said, but what can I man do? What can I pick up bullet and all that kind of thing? What would nobody? Okay. So that was the technicality right there that made Zobanjo walk. Okay. That's why I say it's the doctrine of common sense is not well documented in Liberia in terms of law enforcement. You say you got people, you arrest people, or as we speak, they say, oh, you know, this case is still going on, we're still arresting people, and then you go take all the so-called fruit of crime, burn it, and tell people, say, oh, we took teaspoon. What sort of craziness is that? He said we took a teaspoon or some of the, you know, or some of the cocaine. Is that enough to indict these people? I don't think so. So that's why I say, Mr. Wright, what they actually violated was the law of common sense. That is the law they violated. Go ahead.
And you care to add maybe they violated the environmental law as well.
Mr. Nepe, just a minute. I invited Anthony James Jensen, and he just came in.
Yeah, well, I see someone there. Mr. Jensen, please introduce yourself, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Numbo, and to the entire team. I am James Jensen. I reside in Pennsylvania, the USA. Attorney at law, Liberia. And so, relative to the drug crisis, I'm told that is the issue for discussion. I'm here to add my voice and hope that we can help to shift the narrative as we witness what is going on in Liberia. Thank you so much.
Well, as you can see on the set, there is a photo. I don't know whether this is the site where the money went on.
That is the site.
And that is the site. If that is the site, and since we have an attorney on legal question on the set, sir, can you speak to us on what you see here? If any law is being violated, in violation of any law, environmental, health, statutory laws, what say you on that, sir?
Well, for me, when firstly, I want to say thanks to each and every one of you, and thanks to the Liberian government for the interception of the huge amount of drugs. But personally, I was taken aback when I heard that they were going to take samples and then destroy the entire quantity of drugs that were, not the entire, huge quantity of the drugs that were seized. For purposes of trial and for purposes of convincing the jury and the judge, I'm not sure, in my opinion, that was the right thing to do. You cannot destroy the quantity. What if the quantity of the drug come in issue? What if a lawyer decided to challenge the government of Liberia that the quantity of drug must be identified to convince the jury that, let us say it was about 10 million boxes, and you took sample of the 10 millions and you decided to destroy the entire quantity? Video evidence in that instant case would not suffice. That would be circumstantial. And the fact that
if you're in Liberia, I'm going to hire you as my lawyer. I think you already win the case.
I think for purposes of reasonable doubt, there's a doctrine in trial. You must convince the jury, the judge, beyond all reasonable doubt. The best evidence for convincing the jury on the question of all reasonable doubt would have been the full quantity. If it means that it would have taken the jury, the full jury, to where they were keeping the quantity, the full quantity, that's something that no best trial lawyer would have questioned or would have urged the government to destroy. So to see the Liberian government destroying the question I'm asking myself further is, what is the rationale? Was there a threat as a result of keeping the drug? Is the Liberian government not having the legal sorry, my people, I'm sorry, bro. Is the Liberian government not able to have secure the quantity onto trial? You have persons that are in jail, you have investigation ongoing. Why the rush? Why did you? I don't know who advised. Was it the Attorney General that advised? Was it the state prosecutors that told them? Which one of the judges that told us, yeah, go ahead and bring the drug? What is the rationale? So in my view, while we appreciate the government for the work they are doing, but I feel it's a misstep in my view. Even if I'm representing those drug cartel, I definitely will bring the quantity of drug in issue. I mean, you say 350 million drug was well. Where is the quantity of drug? You show a video and say, okay, the video is saying you could have done the video anywhere else. So what is the evidence? Why did he destroy the evidence? So in fact, they themselves have even created more doubt. The critics, when the news dismiss, and see, to run the government, you have to be very much smart and try to do the best you can. Even the thought that we were going and destroy the drug in the early stage of quote-unquote investigations ongoing, and then you decided to burn these drugs, your critics or even the international partners, you will have more questions to answer. A lot of questions will come rather than if you had a drug stuck somewhere and why you continue the investigation and onto trial.
Let me hold you right there. You mentioned about taking jurors to the scene outside of the court. Don't you think that would have been complicated for the prosecution to prosecute the people on that, and the defense counsel will come in and say, well, we need the evidence in court.
What I'm saying, listen, when I say site, I don't mean the site where the drug were burned. That's not what I'm talking about. I was talking about where the drug would have been kept. The would have been kept somewhere until trial. So I'm saying in the context where the drug is so huge, the Liberian government cannot take all of those drugs to the courtroom.
Okay.
So circumstances, there could be, this is not, it don't just happen in isolation. There will be motion filed, there will be objection, there will be argument, and then the judge will rule on the kind of situation. So if the defense counsel want to see the quantity of drug at this stage, not at this stage, at the time of trial, all right, they will say, okay, the government say we have the drug kept at the Liberian National Police or DEA or somewhere, whatever. Then the motion will be filed, okay, can we take the juror to this place? And
okay.
Circumstances, they would have maybe argue and other stuff. At the end of it, the judge agreed. The juror would have been put in the truck or wherever car, and they would have taken them to where the drug would have been kept. But where you have destroyed all of these quantity of drug right now, if the quantity of drug come in issue during trial, and my question is, how would the government of Liberia address that? The only reason I see is that they want to show video evidence. Oh, we took video and all of this stuff. The video will not solve the issue of reasonable doubt. So there will be doubt in the mind of some jurors. Why did you burn this thing when in fact you knew there was going to be a trial? So it's very possible they could even lose a case as a result of this action that they took.
So in other words, you're saying what the fact that they have decided to put on fire the couple's deleter, which in the layman term we say and
the best evidence.
The best evidence. Is there any case? Or will the government now carry the case to court and say, well, we have a case here? Do you think the government can win that case?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not in my, and I don't think any lawyer will rightly say it and say the government will lose a case or the government will win a case. I can argue for that the government will lose a case on the basis of what? It's a single issue like what quantity of drug did you seize from the client? That is what defense counsel is arguing. What quantity of drug did you seize from a client? And you said 350 maybe boxes or 200 boxes, whatever the boxes are. Then I will move further to ask the court that we want to see the quantity of drugs, the 200 boxes or 350 boxes. We want to see the quantity of those things. The government will not be able to produce a quantity because we know already they destroyed it. Somebody will say, we have video evidence. No, you say you seize 300 boxes or 250 boxes. Can we see the boxes? I can convince the juror to say, look, these people, in fact, the cocaine that they claim to have seized, they did not seize a cocaine. We can see those things. I mean, the courtroom drama is technical and it's evidence-based. So why you'll be fighting, okay, we got video, we got all this stuff. That wouldn't be the best evidence to convince the juror. Some juror will get convinced, but it'll be difficult. Why did you even agree to come at a point where doubt will arise, as we're discussing now? We would have been discussing.
Let me hold you there, counsel, and go to my panelists. So each of you will allot a minute and a half. Let me start with a young man in the studio first. Mr. Wulu, are you there? Do you have any question for the counsel? Are you there? Do you have any question for the counsel? Two questions. Mr. Wulu, you're not in the studio yet, or you having problems?
Yeah, just facing our issue tonight.
So you want me to pass over you, right?
Well, from where the council is saying, actually, I don't know where to start from to even asking him because in already begin to understand the issues of they already bring the joy, and that's to my mind today when the grant was ongoing. Why people want to see those drugs have been arrested, and then we already bring them. So coming in with this, I already understand. So for now, I don't have question for you. Maybe as we continue the discussion, I would like to ask one or two questions.
Mr. Wright, if I took the W from the spelling of your name, you want RRGST, right? So what do you say? Is it right for the government to have acted the way they did?
Look, I think the attorney has really pulled the lid over, the terrible action that the government has taken. I think for those who are non-lawyers, he has really opened our eyes, to the danger that this government has created for itself going forward. Look, if I was on, say, a defense lawyer right now in Liberia, I'll be running for this case. I will be running for it because
you have a question for the lawyer.
Oh yeah, I'm coming in now. We'll win the case hands down. So here's my.
So you are pretty okay.
Yes, here's my question. Anthony Jensen, is it your experience that the government, okay, let's say, what will convince any jury in the absence, like you said, if the quantity of the drug comes into place, what will convince any jury in the absence of the physical drug itself? What can the government present in this case, in the absence of the physical drugs, now that it's been burned? But what can they do to convince any jury to win this case?
Well, I think the most, if I can just surmise or go in the minds of the security authorities or the Attorney General or whatever the state lawyers are, I believe very strongly that the quantity, the actual boxes would have been best evidence for any jury to see. And even a sitting judge, you can easily convince any rational person that, look, these are two boxes that were seized, rather than showing video. I'm sure right now, I witnessed when they went for the boxes, and when they opened the boxes, and I even saw, I don't know what it was, the IG or whoever that person was, one of the officers, DA officers, and took few few of the password, whatever you call it, but to put it aside. Even when I carefully look at what he was doing, it's like picking among those pieces of I don't know how you call it, password, whatever. You know, all those things have legal implications, but sometimes people don't think too high when they're doing things, right? If you want to do those kinds of situations, you had to be calculated, you had to get lawyers with you to be able to say, hey, you can't do it this way. All right. So at this point in time, they have destroyed, quote unquote, they said they have destroyed. For me, I was sitting, I'm not even in Liberia. I was sitting on the scene. I don't know what's happening behind the scene, all of those situations. A lot of questions will come into play. Now, if someone can just play the devil advocate and say, well, okay, people brought boxes outside. They had the boxes were sealed. Why if? Now, forgive me, I'm not saying it is true, but why if someone raised an issue that in fact all those things you brought outside were not the actual drug? We want to see the drug. How can you convince a certain jury? So what we're saying to even as a rational person, let's say like me sitting down here, why would you even want to bring me to raise doubt? If I wouldn't have seen the destruction of the drug, I wouldn't be raising this issue, right? All we have been concluding on was but the drug is in possession. The Liberian government has seized certain number of drugs, is in their possession. So the action the government has taken today, or the security apparatus have taken today, it raises more doubt than if they couldn't have done that. So the question as to whether or not how to convince the jury, well, jurors are human beings. They can think other way. They can watch the video of the burning. Somebody will say, okay, well, we will believe it. So we will take it this way. But for me, I think in a more critical sense, and I would think that if you have a lawyer who can actually convince the jury to think more critically, they will raise serious issue in the government who probably lose a case. Just based on this at the top.
All right, my final question to you, sir. Let's is it also your experience that these things this is the first time it's ever happened in such a high profile case? And if it is, do you think hairs need to roll? Because this is a mighty blunder. Do you think hairs need to roll in the case?
Oh, personally, for me, I have fundamental problem why every government continue to keep the same people in the government. I fundamentally have problem with that. Liberia has 5 million citizens, and people are graduating every year. So the mindset of our people to think that because John Brown has been police director, he be NSA president, so this is the only person who can serve. That's just that is how the country keep being where it is. Take a very young man. Why you think Gafona is serving as Minister of Information? Minister of Finance. Because he was tried. Somebody built confidence in him and appointed him as minister. So Gafona is like financial guru, right? Because somebody tried him. Madam Sally tried him. So the mindset that look, only certain people can do NSA work, police work, DA work. That's just the most mischievous thought that people have in the country. Liberia has citizens all over the world. And the worst of it, people start, if you're not from this county, you're not from this tribe, you're not from, that's what killed Liberia today. It shouldn't be. I mean, Liberia should be, in fact, I always argue that, look, Liberia should have a data bank of professionals. You want people, so they just go to a different sector. You're going to have people who will make themselves available, who will not even demand more. Why should we be at this point, people thinking about drug water, police authority, all the people getting involved in the calling names, arresting people from their ranks of ours? It's because our people think that old people are the only people who are being government, those who being government are the only people who can serve best. Why you have people graduate? Why do you have a school system? Why do you have academic system? Why people go abroad and learn and someone is sitting? You have more Liberians outside. I have few young people who are serving in the U.S. military. Professional young people, Liberians, are serving at the high level in the government of the United States, military. But yet you think that in your own country, you don't have professional people, except you go back for the old people who be in the system, who understand how to do the system, who know how to maneuver. Or to see at the problem. I think, honestly, for me, if I would take the mind of Socrates or Plato. An ideal government, a real government, will mean people who are honest, sincere, and who want to do what society demands. We all should leave behind a country that is just. And to do that, we need to remove all of the old folks and try to bring a new people in government to see how they can change the country. The country is not being changed. We all cry every day because of the same system. Burger King would have brought a new system in. He came to, he won. People say he bring most of the local country people, and technically you check, yes, it's true. We are came, he did their own thing too. I'm not here to talk about we are job CDC UPT here. But the thing is, Liberia's problem need a holistic approach. One of the approaches for me is that you keep the same old people in the system who, whether they wrong or what. In fact, like when you get to power somewhere, somehow, you are like the most smartest person in the country. That's not the T. They don't look at you and myself sitting there and say, I think the guy can be a minister, the guy can be. No, they don't get time for that. Except you are connected, except you are a travel person or a king's person, before the thing I'm bringing into government. I think this is where the country is.
Let's break off Councillor Jensen and go on to Mr. Chris B. Ware for his two questions. Maybe he has some different questions to bring to your attention. Chris?
Thank you so much, Mr. Nepe, for giving me the platform, and let me say good evening to Councillor
Anthony Jensen, yeah.
Jackson. Thank you so much.
Anthony Jensen, yeah.
Yeah, I said it earlier when we came up, Caxio Sally, and I backing up, and I was giving reference when the internet was not giving me chance. It's not about Liberia, it's about the war. Even when they called juror, those jurors were sitting home, and that is their national duty to go and serve for the nation. So when they call you, they carry you to the court. Before you run a verdict, you need to see evidence. When we talk about evidence, something that you can see, or where 2 or 3 persons will attest to. So when it comes to the case is in Liberia, but what we saw on the internet, it bringing a little threat between Liberian and other people. So you can't just take the drugs to go and burn it. Yes, you can take it to go and burn it. So I don't have any question for now, but I can say I back the sense of Caxel and also to Councillor James for what he said. Because if you burn the thing and then the juror want to see, not just seeing the video, the photo, we want to open it and see. And there are things that there are testers they have to use to test them to say that yes, those black plastic or those cartoons are real just. So if they cannot have that, you think which are the value they're going to run. So for the fact that the taking the drug to burn it is another thing, and then the juror coming up is another thing. So for me, I back the idea that burning it was not the right thing. So I back the idea of the councillor and also Caxel. Thank you so much. I don't have a question for now.
Well, let me shoot myself into this conversation before I come to Mr. Caxel.
I'm still here.
I know, don't worry. I told you that I'm going clockwise.
You go
just hold on. Hold on. I know you got a lot of questions for
Mr. Nippy, you got 10 minutes of the phone line, sir.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll go there.
Okay.
Let me ask Councillor Jensen. Councillor Jensen, is that Jensen or Johnson?
Jensen.
Is that Jensen?
No, Jensen.
All right, let me move the T because I have a T there.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I take all the T right away because that's all right. Councillor Jensen.
Anthony Jensen.
Why do you? Yeah, Jensen.
Anthony.
They have. Say that again, please.
Anthony Jensen, not councillor.
Oh, Anthony Jensen. All right, Anthony Jensen. Why do you think the government security burned the entire consignment? Why?
Well, that's the question for the IG or the Attorney General to answer. But
throw some light on why you, in your own thinking, because you say you are a critical thinker.
I have told you that I wouldn't have suggested that, right? Let's assume I was close to the Ministry of Justice and I had I would never have told them that the best thing to do is to burn those drugs. The first thing is I can't figure out why, because even to burn the quantity of drugs, environmental issues are there. I think I heard you put discussing that earlier.
Right.
Now, those are hard chemicals. Those substances are, when you pollute the air, we don't know what's going to happen next. So I'm not an environmentalist, so I wouldn't be able to tell you more about those things. But I just from my little scientific, learning, I know that it's not good for whatever environment burn, because the police is not going to direct where the air going to blow, right?
No.
So it might be a situation that will cause citizens for some time, and that could be another lawsuit, right? If I in Liberia, anybody who live around and decide, say, my hair hurting me, my hair must continue, I can go and sue the government for that, right? For environmental reasons. So all we are saying here is that the government, I don't know why they did this at the earlier stage. What were the rationale? I'm still not, I don't know. Maybe they need to inform the public more. We burn this because of A, B, C, D. Other than that, I don't think there's any reason. The drug, I said they never had, or the whole cartel coming for the drugs and all of those stuff. Maybe somebody said, cartel was going to come to Liberia, or whether it was because of the video that is circulating. If that's a rationale, they need to tell the Liberian people. All right, but technically, I don't think the Liberian government shut a space, to have kept that thing even for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So to destroy it, I don't. My mind, I can't conceive it yet.
Thank you so much. My second question will be: drug has been destroyed. They say they have alleged criminal, because the criminal should be matched with what the fruit of crime is. Saying there is no fruit of crime, the drugs have been burned, but 2 guys are in detention. Is there a case to be taken to court as an attorney of law? Is there a case?
That's a case. I mean, even if you and your wife.
If so, why?
Listen, to the larger extent, Liberia, there's a record that drugs were seized at the airport and in other places. So, and individuals have been arrested. So those individuals who have been arrested and accused, the Liberian government is under obligation to prove a case against those individuals. So at this point, the government cannot go say, okay, we don't have a case or we don't want to go to court. They definitely go to court. All right. What's going to happen in the courtroom, the drama is going to take place, just some of those things we are discussing. But those individuals who are beyond bar, their liberty has been seized and they've been accused. So it's obligated on the government to prove a case against those individuals. Now, whether the individuals is going to be admission or they're going to resist whatever the issues going to be in court, it's all part of the legal drama. And I think for us, we shouldn't sit here and say, well, the government don't have a case or have a case. We can only look into the mirror and see what, the objects that are found in the mirror. And then we can...
Let me hold you right there. We are looking through the mirror, and we should be convinced that there is a case.
I agree.
In the wake of the evidence being burned, don't you think the 2 gentlemen could say they were planted? Just to make a case, don't you think the people can say, no, we disassociate ourselves from this. These people planted and they arrested us in the night and brought us in their house.
Listen,
And then from there, they started taking things from this house and they put it on us. If this is what the case is, where is the evidence that they claim we had? The thing that
there's already accusation, and the video that is circulating, if it is true, the guys in the video are saying that the drug seized are in a lower quantity, and if I don't know before that, maybe some of you guys listen to that tape. There's an amount they said were seized, and they're naming the president's son, right? So if all of those things are part of the question that Liberians are discussing, how many parcels of cocaine or parcels of cocaine came into the country? If the cartel, wherever Colombia they are sitting in, making these kind of allegations that the more came into the country, that would have been some major reason why you don't just rush about destroying these cocaine. But government would be the best people to now give more clarity. Now they are obligated themselves more to provide pieces of explanations to why they did what they did. So for me, we can all discuss what we're discussing. The obligation is on the government to prove these people guilty. And the way to go about it is to provide the best evidence. If they don't, then these people can raise an argument, defense argument. The lawyer representing these individuals they study all of these circumstances, and then they will be able to put their best defense for their client. So
let me hold you right there. I think that is exhaustive enough, your explanation. Let me come to Mr. George Nubo. Mr. George Nubo, do you have any question for our distinguished guest?
Yes.
Two questions. And you have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes. I gave you the benefit of the doubt for 2 minutes.
You are taking some of my minutes.
All right, go ahead. I have a minute there, 2.5 minutes, sir.
Anthony Johnson, I was supporting the point that you had, or the points that you are making, but then I read this U.S. Department of Justice 28 CFR 50.21. And according to that, they need a photograph, if necessary, videotape of the drugs. Number 2, they want you to conduct a laboratory test to identify the substance. Retain representative samples for use as evidence. Preserve the chain of custody. Notify the prosecutor before destroying the bulk quantity. Destroy only the excess drugs while keeping the evidentiary samples until they are no longer needed. These are the 6 steps, and they give some cases. The state of New Mexico versus Sanchez. That's one of them, and then number 3 is another case, marijuana case. So in Liberia, we also go by cases in the U.S. Don't you think that they went by the procedure, this 6-step procedure?
Mr. Numo,
yes.
In the court form, I agree with all of the list you have. the issue of representative sampling of whatever the evidence are, or the pieces of evidence, the issue of comprehensive documentation, the issue of notice to the defense and court orders. All of those things are all narratives in terms of what will happen in a courtroom. But the reality in the courtroom is what I'm talking about here. You can have documents, you can have video. I'm sure the government has done that, right? They want to bring that. I saw you myself. I think from this show, you show the place where the drugs were burned,
Right?
Which is fine. There's video that may have showing recording of the different boxes and all of the stuff. But when it comes to best evidence, whether you have documentation, whether you have video, whether you have what they call notice to the defense that you're going to burn that, when you get in the courtroom, when you reach to that point where the jury trial is ongoing and you have to convince the jury, the best evidence that I'm talking about is to have kept this full amount of boxes or drugs that were seized. What is the rationale of destroying these boxes? What is the rationale? Is it occupying space at which you want to clear and then put something else there? Are there not sufficient space? Is there being harmful as a result of keeping it? Is there threatening the Liberia national security? What are the reasons that you would do this? I don't want to be a prosecutor and be advising my people that, look, these are what on the books. Firstly, do we have representation of the parties in knowing all the facts? It will say yes. When you get in the courtroom, all of these things that are being listed will only be a matter of what the procedural steps are. But the obligation will be on each lawyer to defend his or her client. I am saying here, if I am the defense counsel, I might probably move court to see the full quantity of drugs that government say they have seized. Government will baffle it, but I will consistently demand that government must show the full quantity of drugs that were seized. You cannot go and say, okay, according to U.S. law, so, or Liberian law, so, this is what I'm saying. I say, okay, juror, here's the point. The government said they had 250 boxes of drugs seized. It's clearly evident now that they don't have the boxes. They say they destroyed, they have video. It's up to you to make a decision. You have, maybe I call my client innocent people. These innocent men and women are being held behind bars on grounds that they found 250 boxes with them, but the 250 boxes are not here. So it's now your time to come down with a decision that will set my client free, because the best evidence being destroyed by the government. Maybe I argue further that the government, in fact, did not destroy the actual drugs. They exchanged it for something else, and then they said the government has the drug, let them bring the drug to court. Then you start thinking about, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to show video, be arguing about, you've been listening all this in the whole day, time of court. And I would just be emphasizing, look, if you said 250 buses, there was no reason, no legitimate reason that the government can give right now for why they destroyed those buses. Nothing wrong with government destroying. I mean, there are cases where someone can make reference to. But let's think about it. If you were to convince your son on something that you truly want to convince him on, video evidence and the actual evidence, the attempt, which one you prefer? Convince your child. I would think the actual whatever is like. If it's candy, I don't want to show my child this is candy or this is peppermint. If I show my child this is peppermint, the peppermint, you stole the peppermint, here is it. Your hand was in the cookie jar, this is it. Any other child you call from outside, the child will believe you. But you want to show
Thank you, Councillor. Let's go to Mr. Nubo. Let's push in your second question, because what he says is that physical evidence is what he's talking about.
Right.
Okay. I don't have second question, but what I have to say is what I heard during the burning. They say all the bags, the external bags, they're keeping everything, and the on a canister or what, or the boxes they had, no, they were keeping them. That's what I heard on the recording. I don't know how true it is.
I'm not a lawyer, but I will not establish a prima facie case. But let me go to Mr. Kasser right away. Mr. Kasser, because we have to go to the line. We have to go to the line. I was just texted by the proper host. You know, I'm proxy. I'm a proxy host. So the actual host is asking us to go to Mr. Kasser and then go to the
proxy host tonight, though.
You all will have to hijack things. You're not hijacking the one. Yeah, I say that in the wake of the entire consignment being burned, arches or no arches, or bags or no bags, or according to the Anthony, a top lawyer will want to say these bags represent nothing, and you are just trying to showcase that my clients are involved in something dubious, whereas you don't have any evidence of it. Mr. Kasser, please come up with 2 questions to our counselor, then we can go to the line to talk to our people.
Councilor Jensen and I are aligned 100%. I got no questions for him, but here's an observation as to some of the potential problems. For instance, the defense attorney for the suspect, who argued that investigators destroy evidence that could have been independently examined. International partners such as Europol, the US DEA, Interpol, or other agencies, they could request additional forensic analysis from the Liberian government. Okay? Fingerprints, DNA, packaging evidence, or packaging characteristics. All those things there could have given not only the Liberian government, but also those agencies that have got the best practices, best SOPs, standard operating procedures. It could have given them something to work with. You see? So the fact that, you know, I hear what other people say, oh, well, the thing has stayed in the warehouse too long, you know, it could have hit the street and all kind of things. No, you don't use that, especially when you say you're in the process. You're in the process of arresting people. You yourself say, well, we got some of the people, but we won't got all of them. We're still working on the case. But then the evidence, the mean evidence, you say, oh, well, we took small teaspoon here and there. So what I just previously said, those are things that people coming in, you know, to help us out, because we have already established that we do not have the market within Liberia for those drugs. We poor, we poverty stricken. 1 teaspoon of cocaine, reading somewhere, said that something like, I don't know, $250, $500. We don't have the market. So it's going to Europe. So the Europeans want to come in and say, okay, let's see what you got. And we can do our own analysis. And what you tell them, say, oh, well, we got a few teaspoons here. That's what you tell them? Arrest.
Great input. Before we go to the line, I ask Mr. Ware. Mr. Ware. Honorable Ware.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please play the theme song, then we can go to the line.
Okay, when we come back from the line, because I wanted to add something, but when we come back, then you
No, you
allow
said
me to
that.
do that.
No, I did right away before we go to line.
Yeah, I should
Because I
add it.
talk.
Okay.
Yeah, I did right
Before we
away.
go to the line quickly, let me get something. Let me make something clear. You know, you asked a question to Anthony that have to do with why. You know, if you look at the Controlled Drug and Substance Act, you know, there's a law, the Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency Act. There's a law that says, and I go about that if the drug enforcement says seize drugs, you know, and they take document of that drugs, they can also ban that drugs. They can ban the drugs. Why is the reason? The reason again is because if the consignment of that drug is too much, it bring, you know, it bring about a criminal act or corruption within the, you know, forces of the security department. Because if they keep that drugs, other people would like to take it and make money out of it. That's what it says. So if you look at the Controlled Drugs and Substance Act, it says that. But now what we are looking at is, you know, why the people will say when the people brand the trust, you know, the government will be missing the proof that what we've been talking. So I just want to reflect that. So while we taking calls, let every one of us look at that. Yeah, let's look at that, and then we will see the Controlled Drugs and Substance Act of Liberia 2023. If you look at that, it's going to give you some east, and still look at that, and we go to the phone line.
Perhaps,
Thank you so much. Let me play a quick song.
perhaps statute is being made by our lawmakers. But at least they could have said they have about 10 persons to keep the keys to that place, and then somebody in the executive mansion will hold the master key.
Okay.
But before you take a question, let me say this to just what is better read. The law is the law, right? But the issue here is what is the preference when it comes to arresting people and facing trial. The issue as to what
Anthony, let's hold it there. Let's go to our caller. When we come back, you will get clarity. They are listening to you. Thank you so much. So, folks, this is Alberto D for your regular and usual program on Top FM 105.3. We have our panelists, we have our guests. Yeah, Anthony James Jackson is here with us. Sorry if I not pronounce the name correctly, but I know I try my best. So those of you out there, you've been listening to the conversation and you want to be part of the platform tonight. But let's take our thing song. When we come back, we go to the phone line.
Liberia, my people, Top FM 105.3, we on the air. Leader, shout, Sheku Koroma. Archie right. Play. Alex Tiulu. Rock, producer correct. All tonight, we beg to this day. I beg to differ, my people. Correct, we got to come so.
I bet to D4, you don't have to agree with all our government cares they judge. They say sorry. They brand the judge today, and we got case. They want to judge the case. Why you say the people brand the judge? We say other people are calling. They say, well, you're bringing our judge, all the kind of thing. Let's hear you tonight. Let's go to the phone line and talk to this cutter. Good evening and welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing.
And good evening to the panelists.
Okay.
I may not know all of them by name, but I think it's a great good to the Liberian people, and that they can come on air to discuss some sensitive issues. And I'm very impressed by the discussion point today, starting with what on your mind. I have not really been following before. I think if I'm not mistaken, this should be my first time catching up with the show, but I'm quite impressed by the level of analysis that is coming forth. And I think I have my own side
Is it Pastor Sami we are talking to?
Yeah, this is Pastor Nathan T. Sami.
Okay, welcome, sir.
Thank you for the recognition.
Thank you.
I think I have my own side to the discussion. And when the discussion came up after they were putting out what was on their mind and mentioned the issue of the drugs, I quickly went to look for the process on the internet so that I could see how the drugs were being burned. But I think the first thing I want to comment on is that I don't think the Liberian government will be in error by burning huge quantity of drugs.
Okay.
Because the enforcement we are talking about is being backed by the very justice. In fact, they are bred from the justice system. So these are people who probably we expect to know much of the law. So burning these drugs, I think it is something that is very helpful to the safety of the constitution of Liberia and as well as the people of Liberia. So I don't want to believe they were in any form of ignorance of burning the drugs.
Okay.
But there is something I have, I have noticed about the burning of the drugs from Weir Town all the way coming down to now, the few I have seen. I noticed that normally they burn these substances using tire and putting gasoline on it, which is very hazardous. Okay. So I think normally in the instant of burning huge quantity or even drugs, in the instant of burning them, you should be able to have a huge kind of industrial incinerator, and burn the drugs through them so that the smoke will go high. Even before it spreads, it has lost its strength. Okay. Of affecting people in the community. But you will notice that in Liberia, I don't know whether the EPA are really cognizant of these things. I don't know. Even though they took the drugs outside of the city and they carried to an environment that is now well inhabited with human beings, but just like the Anthony said, sometimes these are smoke. I think somebody also said it previously. These are smoke. They spread. You don't have control, and they go by way of the breeze, by way of the wind. So as they release into the air, they spread out. So the closer environment may also be affected. Now remember, tire had a wider smoke, dark wider smoke, which is also a hazard. It's also a hazard. So burning the drugs with tire, I think that's where my own point lies.
Thank you.
But when it comes to providing, just before I end, when it comes to providing, evidence, I don't think the government is acting out of ignorance. I think they are cognizant of the act because the law might be similar from different countries' standpoint, but mind you, they are acting on law. So that's my own point towards it. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Sami. Thank you so much. Thank you for being part of the platform tonight. Call on 088-114-3504-0776-105-105. Let's go to the phone line and talk to this caller. Good evening and welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Brother Chris.
Good evening. What is your name and where are you calling up from?
Okay, I'm Augustus Wisted. I call you from the Niavo community.
Augusta Wisted.
Yes.
Let hear you, sir.
And I want to say good evening to your panelists. I'm actually started following you people last night. They make my radio sleep on. I never knew that you people sleep on through all the night.
We always on.
From your show last night until you wake up me 4 o'clock this morning. They're preaching all this morning at conference. So I said, okay. Anytime I return home, I'll decide to follow this show.
Thank you.
And from your discussion tonight, the first key thing that really touched me and that is affecting us is why one of the panelists talk about why there are capable Liberians that are learned or that are learning, that are capable in occupying position. But always people believe in a person now working in the government before, so I believe they can do the best thing.
That was Anthony.
Yes. You incorporate somebody who has been polluting the system in the past, you only incorporate them because of party maybe. And we know that Liberia is not a two-party system. We have multiple parties. So you want to tell me that St. Augustine in CDC is not in unity, or is for Liberians or lawyer, so you never ever serve in any government. Any government that comes, they want to incorporate their own party's member. It's why infected. It's why affecting Liberia today. Somebody will be polluting system. People will be crying on individual, killing them, not helping them. But the government will say, we don't have any other party member order to put it. So let that person be there. That's the very first thing that touched me on the Anthony.
Thank you.
Actually killing Liberia.
Thank you.
And the second thing is the just aspect.
Okay.
When I read or show from Senator Magio, that the only way that we get the actual understanding of this drug issue, the labyrinth investigators should step aside and invite private investigators. And from the same social media, allowing that the U.S. mandated the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency dealers to come and investigate the issue. There's yesterday another video circulating from Colombia that Colombians requesting the judge should be released. And for them, they are setting for them that signed that agreement, where the judge come. The video is on the social media circulating. And today, you bring to us.
Thank you. Thank you, Augusto.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
Am I using your time? So the common man now will see that you send the job back to the person that requesting for it. That's why you say you're bringing it. So thank you for your show.
Thank you so much. You know, we have to manage the time. 2 seconds, 3 seconds is okay. Thank you so much. If you are there tonight, let you on 088-114-3504. Let's go to the phone line and talk to Mr. Saeed Gonda. Good evening and welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for the recognition. You see, when you make hasty decision, you always go in the wrong. They got something in law. The lawyer man, the counselor, the attorney, they know what I'm talking about. Prima facie. What is the physical evidence that will be adduced in court that will convince the juror that this thing transpired? Somebody man come and say, everything you're going there, I don't even know about it. You will falsely get me in detention here. What you will say? We got to be careful. People want to prove point that, oh, we're fighting drugs. But they don't look at the legal ramification. They don't look at the legal fact. Things that you will talk for the public to be convinced. Now, here where we are, and go to court. The defense lawyer will say that your video evidence, you get it from different countries, and not from here. What you will say? We want the physical evidence. In our layman and say fruit of the crime. You don't have it. And this is a criminal case. The man is considered innocent until he's proven guilty. The competent code of jurisdiction. So that man is innocent. So you're supposed to produce all your evidence to convince the juror. Then automatically the people will be guilty. But the me evidence, you destroy it. What is your standpoint right now? You have done harm and good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Saeed Gonda. Your point is well taken. What is the physical evidence? If you are even asked the juror, let's hear you tonight on Abed D4. We are here with you, your regular and informative platform that bring you, clear and relevant information. Call on 088-114-3504, 0776.
Let's get two more callers.
Okay.
Mr. Well, let's get two more callers and we can go to the discussions.
No problem. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mr. Moderator, thank you so much. Call on 088-114-3504, 0776-105-105. Let's hear you tonight. You listen to the discussion. You've been following. It's tackling around the drug issue. The government of Liberia banned the drugs, and that singling, a line across the wall, I can say. So 0881 1435 040776 105 105. If we can have color, then we go over to you, Mr. Christopher J. Nippet. We have three colors, Mr. Pastor Sami, Augusta Wisse, and C. Gonda. Let's go there. Over to you, Mr. Nippet.
Very, very, very well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please mute your phone. We've heard all of the callers. Before we go to the attorney, let's hear from each of you, beginning with Mr. Wright. What say you on what are your analysis on the callers? Mr. Wright? You muted yourself, Mr. Wright. Mr. Nubo is going to come for you just now.
No, I'm using two computers, so I gotta, move the cursor. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm happy, man. First of all, I want to say thanks to the two callers, especially to the guy who said that he, the pastor, Sami, who said, he's followed the show and he enjoyed the analysis, and now he's going to keep listening. We appreciate you, sir, for being, for dedicating your time to be listening to us. Thank you so much. And then the other caller who came and said you listened to the show until you went about until 4 a.m. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that dedication from you. And Mr. Sid going that, saying it was wrong for the people to destroy the evidence, all that. I agree with every one of them. I think this is what we're saying. We all agree with the attorney Jensen. I just think whatever evidence the government have in a possession will make it very difficult for them. Already we've seen the president firing people now from from the police and other places. It just shows that the government is in a very weak position, and it's going to be an uphill battle for them in this case. Absolutely. Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Casa, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you heard the callers' inputs. What do you say? What is your analysis?
Well, I think what the caller said basically, right now, if you listen to what Liberian social media is saying, that reflected it. Some people say no, they rush to burn the cocaine. Others say no, there's too much cocaine. They're just supposed to take representative samples and document them. So yeah, those are two, different frame of mind with regards to this situation. But I still say, like I said before, I think they just rush, and I think I listed the reasons why I just thought it was what we say in Liberia, hurry bus traffic situation. They were just supposed to, I don't know what sort of relationship they got with the international community, especially Europol, what they got with the DEA. The DEA have been very, very instrumental in tipping the Liberian police off. The last time they did it during our government, when that $100 million transshipment came in, it was the U.S. government in Latin America. I mean, the DEA in Latin America, U.S. DEA, that told we, I said, look, there's a container coming with about $100 million worth of cocaine. And we have, I don't know, poultry parts and all those other stuff. So just look within the, right behind those poultry parts and stuff, that's where you will see the bag of cocaine lineup. So I just hope they had some sort of a very, very strong connection with Europol, with the DEA in the United States. I also hope that they documented the case. You see those cases that the cocaine were in. You take them out of the they would take the cocaine out of the cases and try to use the cases to document the cases that the cocaine came in, because they can use that to track other shipments. You know, they'll use the forensic. You know, those people that got their forensic stuff, they will come and detect whether this is a scene shipment that went to Spain. This is a scene shipment that came from Colombia or Venezuela and all that. They will be able to track it, and that process helps law enforcement find the root cause. Perhaps the farms in Ecuador, the farms in what they call the place, Colombia, Venezuela, and the labs that those, because you're going to do, they got the cocaine labs where they grow the coca leaves, they bring it to the lab, and you got chemists. The chemists break it down and turn it to powder, into what we know as cocaine. They put it way in the bush. Now, our fear in West Africa is that these guys might say, okay, these guys got us now in terms of this transshipment. So let's just move our business to Liberia. Let's just move our business to Sierra Leone. I guess they're doing it already in Nigeria. Because what do God do? They take it all the way in the bush. If you see some rich person come from, Spanish-speaking person come from Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Venezuela, saying he want to buy a huge tract of land all the way in the interior, the Liberian interior, you will be wondering, oh, but man, give me all the money, well, let's sell it. But what he coming to do is to move his shipment to Liberia. They will farm coca, because as I say, we got the same sort of tropical landscape. They will farm it there. They will set up their lab, and that's our fear, because they will say, let's stop the transshipment is not working. All those, they're attacking us by sea, land, and air. They might just decide, hey, let's just go in these countries. We can bribe politicians or people who got a lot of land, and we can start doing this thing right in Liberia. And from
let's
there,
hold it there. Let's hold it there. You're giving us a perfect look at what the callers have said and what might obtain or happen in the wake of all of these arrests. It could change the modus operandi to come to our country as they're doing in Nigeria. Perfect. Mr. Nubo, your analysis, please. Mr. George Himia Nubo, your analysis, please.
No, I'm not Himia here. I hear is the same as here.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So George here Numbo. Actually, Jabo here Numbo.
Jabo here Numbo.
Yes.
Onombo.
The colors said some of the things that some of us were thinking about, from the get-go, for which we call Attorney Jensen to come in and throw some light on it. And he did that. He educated us. The questions are, why did they rush? Did they not have a storage, a protected storage facility? So we'll wait and see, what will happen during the trial. If the 2023 Controlled Substance Act will be the protection for the prosecutor, well, we'll wait and see. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joy. Nubo, say Nubo. Councillor, you heard all of your people and their various comments. That we would like for you to just throw a light.
Mr. Nipe, Mr. Ware is calling your attention.
Mr. Ware? I can't hear him.
I am here. I've not made my color analysis yet. Yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Go
Go
right ahead.
Yeah,
Go right ahead.
Mr. Rad, thank you so much. Let me say thanks to our colleagues, Pastor Samin, Mr. Wister, and Mr. Seyi Gonda for their excellent and also the sacrifice that they're making to be with us. Not because they want to listen to the radio, but they want for us, for every one of us to join hands to transform Liberia. So we all are saying the same thing, but it just happened that there are places we need to understand ourselves and backing Liberia up and the government. And people will say, why so soon? And which, of course, somebody will say, the law, the Controlled Drugs and Substance Act that say the police must destroy liquor drugs safely after recalling them. That's number one. The second one is to stop teeth, keeping too many expensive drugs can cause police corruption and teeth among them. But we Facebook, the people calling that he have a role to play. So it also, when they call the president's son, it also calling we the Liberian. That may concern the government. So now, and why are we criticizing the government? Why people will criticize the government to say, why so soon? The reason is physical evidence. What will you show to the people out there? So I want to join them to say, if you look on the side, this is something like one of the chorus is trending on the social media. People are threatening Liberia and it's saying that Joe Boakai Jr. passed, and he wrote clarifying the call, and even the social media show a picture when he was with those that captured, that have been captured within the drug case. So how will you come out so soon to burn the case, to burn the drugs? So our government need to be strong. Over the past year, before I give the flow, over the past year, like for example, the places we found ourselves, the only thing we see the government doing to burn the drugs. But if you go to the prison compound, you will not find the people who they take the drugs from before they burn it. Thank you so much. So we need to work and make progress in Liberia.
Very well put, Chris, my namesake. Very well put. But let me do my own little stuff here. Starting with Pastor Nathan T. Samin. He's a man of God, and I think he's curious to know how God's children fare in a given society. And he said the people know the law, but even the best driver, the best swimmer can get drowned. The best driver do make accident. A pilot who has held sometimes 20 or more years of experience will bring the plane on the ground and crash. The ship captain sometimes he runs aground because of certain technical reasons. That does not negate the fact that they do not have the requisite experience. So I'm a little bit careful to say, well, the people know the law, so they can do anything. It's just like what we do in Liberia. Say the man is a lawmaker, so he goes on to break the very law that he makes, and sometimes it is with impunity. Environmental hazard. We had the EPA here. We will look forward to inviting the EPA, because I think there is a certain angle in the burning of this substance that leads to environmental hazard, especially when the Reverend says they do it with tires and gasoline. So you have the tire, you have the gasoline, and you have the substance is interacting with the atmosphere. What do we say the water does? Why it evaporates and go into the air, atmosphere, condense it, precipitates, and fall like rain. And then what happens? Our people in the interior, Grand Gita, for instance, Sano, Maryland, Riverside, Bassa, and all of those creeks that are there could be impregnated with substances that will not be good. It's just like when the people did the atomic bomb. Even since that time, you have people that are crippled. You have people that are crippled up to this time. Women who deliver and they have premature delivery and deformed births. So I, for the health reasons, yes, the people know the law. They know the law. They have read the law book. They cannot make mistakes, but I mean, does that mean that they are infallible? And Scripture tells us that no one is infallible. We are all prone to making mistakes, and this is why in the court of law sometimes, when the prosecuting attorney makes mistake, the defense come on him hard or come on hard, and at the end of the day, the defense carries the day. I see this case trending that way. But the defense will come on and then beat this whole case, because when Mr. Gonda said the fruit of crime, the corpus delicti, or to establish a prima facie case might be looked at with a broader lens than the narrow lens that we are looking at it now. But let me come to the man who went to the law school and has the requisite competence and qualification. Anthony Jensen, you listen to your people. What say you? You can inculcate that into your closing comments, sir. I'm protecting you. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, and once again, it's a pleasure to be here. Let me just appreciate the callers. The pastor who is engaging in social media is also the better way to understand the issues as they mount the pulpit to preach the gospel. So we want to say thanks to him, and the other callers, we also appreciate them for the engagement. But this is Liberia, and it's all about the different sectors of society to look at these issues critically as the government that is now the custodian of activities in the country or taking care of the country. Having said those, the few emphasis that I have is that section, can I get this quickly? This is, okay, this is from the law creating the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, just to counteract what the brother said as to control substance. All right, chapter 22, subchapter F, section 22-104 of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency Act outlines the powers and responsibility of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, LDEA, regarding the custody and destructions of evidence. Custody of evidence. Under Section D, the LDEA is mandated to take charge and have custody of all controlled drugs or substances and or controlled precursors and essential chemical seized, confiscated, or surrendered to any national or local law enforcement agency other than portions needed for purposes of evidence in court. I'm saying this to mean that a thorough research will bring about issues as to why it is important for the government to have maintained the physical evidence of the drugs for purposes of trial or court. The government had the obligation to maximize and impact the jury, as we stated earlier. The psychological effect of carrying the boxes of cocaine in court can easily convince a sitting human being, men and women who will be jurors, rather than say, oh, we took videos and all of this stuff. And to also understand that people can argue bad faith, the government will be fighting to protect our image. If a defense lawyer will say the government did bad faith selection couples of the sample, I don't know how the government is going to fight to defend that. But these are issues that may appear in the courtroom. All right, bad faith is a doctrine that could put the government on the spot, and the government will be fighting to defend herself as to why they took decision to burn the entire drug or almost the entire drug. Another issue that I would think about is that the government herself should have understood that someone could accuse the government, the police, and all of the security apparatus for cherry picking those few samples. So with all of these doubt, we are discussing these things because of what has happened. So before I become monotonous, let me just say the government should have waited. I don't think there's anything running behind the government. I don't think the government should have any space. If it was about hazard, now the burning of the drug, like the brother was saying, the burning of the drug, the pollution in the air, in my view, is more dangerous than where the drug was kept and sealed. However, the government is the government of the day. The government has maybe her own superior knowledge as to why she did what she did, and we watch to see what will happen thereafter. But I hope this whole issue shouldn't end up with a Liberian people thing. Tony Jackson died, that other case, somebody like Liberian people forgetting about that. Many other persons died. Other things, people just come with a kind of a Coca-Cola thing. After a few times, the whole thing died down. We hope this is not one of those cases. And I think Liberia should grow from looking at things just because, okay, Liberia are concerned. It should be a matter of how can we solve or find a solution or investigate a matter, even if it has taken years. Be prepared as a government, even if you can't end the next government, you come and see the record and pick it up. That's what government should be about. That's what Liberia should be about. That's what some of us think when people get the power should be thinking about. How can we get it better? If there was a case on a job we had time, you can't say, oh, that CDC time. No, government is continuity. Pick it up and investigate. NISWA there, the auditors there, all those things should be matter of investigation. So just keep it up. The drug issue is now on. Who knows? Maybe this will drag on to 2029. And after that, the whole thing will die down. Nothing comes out of it. So we hope that the best will be done so that Liberia can change. We can all leave behind a country. I want my generation, I keep preaching this, I want my generation 100 years, a child of mine, a great-great-grandchild of mine, to say my father was this. They left behind a country. Rather than people running after money. Listen, forgive me for this sidetracking. I watched a video yesterday of babies, young children breaking racks for survival. This is break our hearts. When people, one person sitting and taking about $15,000 a month, when a child is sitting there and just wish to have meal to eat, to go to school, they are breaking rocks. When we see some of those things, we asking ourselves the highest question. Somebody will say, because you're not in government, that's why you see. No, but there are people who are not in government, they are more sympathetic, are more concerned about building Liberia than those who are in government. So the drug issue shouldn't just be about, a phone fair or a show. It should be a matter of getting to the bottom of where the drug came from to enter Liberia. Or else this is going to affect everybody. But if you call your name, someone say, Liberia, okay. We all know what is happening about the Colombian. Even Nigeria today, people call Nigeria, they're trying to call their name, people have some attachment. Whether this person has a clean character, they are attached to some kinds of stuff. So we are talking today not because we have time to come and waste here. We want those who listen to us, they themselves should be asking themselves the hard question. Did we make a mistake to have bring this thing at the earliest stage? It's not about open discussion, argument, later bring with argument. It's about looking at this thing critically. Did we make a mistake? Can we remain what we did? Build a strong prosecuting team and be able to do the right thing. We want Liberia to change. If Liberia was better, you have better hospitals. Someone will leave from the United States, go to Liberia, go take medical treatment with less price or small money and get better treatment, come back on the side. The money we have, we carry right there and leave it there. Liberia from all over the world would have been going to Liberia to go take treatment. But even they themselves are over there, they cannot go to Liberia Medical Center to take treatment. Those officials, they rather fly out. But yet, one person is sitting and want to eat $15,000 every month. The president.
On that note, Councillor, I want to say thank you so much. Instead of looking at the needful, two things you said, and I want to commend you on everything you said. It summarizes so uniquely what you have, your purpose for being on the show. And I want to commend my colleague, Mr. Josh Nubo. You did a fantastic job. You thought on your feet and you saw the critical nature of this case and you said, I must bring on this show. I beg to differ, a learned person in the law. So we want to say to you, Councillor Johnson, this is your portal. You can make it your home intermittently because we know you are a very, very, very busy person, but you have provided us the kind of knowledge, the kind of information that complement the knowledge that you have to bring to our people the understanding that they need. It makes it so profoundly unique for people, for distinguished personalities such as you to be with us, because we need people with the third eye. And I call that the third eye because we are not lawyers on the show, and we don't want to be in error. It might be necessary when you come, there are certain guidance you want to give us such that keeps us floating. And so we want to salute you, sir, and for your parting comment and say, God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I have some questions to ask, but I'll table that and we will discuss it among ourselves. Thank you so much, Anthony Jensen.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure with you guys. The next time I hope when you're calling me here, you'll call somebody from the government. Let it appear. Then we can all have the first argument. Thank you so much.
That's perfectly that advice we will take.
When you're lunging, praying, sitting.
Thank you so much.
All right, have a blessed
you may take leave of us now. The councillor has taken leave of us. We have listened to two sets of views here. We have listened to all of the things the councillor had to say, and we also listened to three callers. Gentlemen, starting with you, Mr. Wright.
You're someone in football, whatever.
Please give your parting comment, and you can incorporate everything You got 30 seconds.
Thank you so much. I thought it was a great show, and thank you, Mr. Nippet. You stepped in and you did your thing, and we had a great time. I did. I hope you did. Thanks to Mr. Nubo for pinging, Anthony Jensen for coming in and doing such a splendid work, and thank you too, Mr. Nippet, for encouraging Mr. Jensen to make this place his home. I want to say that this is not his first time being on the platform. I think this could be his third or fourth time being on the platform. We have encouraged him. Yes, we have encouraged Mr. Jensen to come, but I think he runs his own platform at every Thursday. So yeah, that is the challenge. But hopefully, he likes being here. This is a place. Hopefully, he will take the invitation and come and make the place his home. But it was a great show, and thank you all. Thanks to all of our callers who didn't make it a call tonight, but those who called, we thank you all for being part of the show. Back to you, Mr. Nippet.
Wonderful. Let's go to 30 seconds. Everybody having 30 seconds. Then Mr. Cassia, 30 seconds, please.
Okay. Look, my beef with the whole situation, well, let me just say thanks to Mr. Jensen as well. I mean, he came in, he filled in, and he did a splendid job, a fantastic job. My beef with the whole burning of the cocaine was like, I just thought it was a rush effort. Large international trafficking investigation, it all often evolved over months or years. Physical evidence can become increasingly valuable as new suspects emerge. And I think what the government did, it broke the chain of custody, because that's one of the main things in this sort of transshipment transaction. You want to have that chain of custody where you're not only grabbing people in Liberia, but you're also pointing Interpol, the DEA, or Europol, or whatever they call them. They can come in, look at packaging and all that, and they just know where the chain of custody is. And I think that's what we did. We just broke that chain of custody process with that horrible bus trafficking we did. And man.
All right, Mr.
I've not heard that phrase for a very long time. Horror bus traffic.
Yeah, suffer, always catch the monkey.
Yeah, catch the monkey.
Mr. George Nubo, I've already commended you, and I'll say thank you again. Whether he has come here 2, 3, 4 times, you did well, because this case, all of the issues that we have to discuss, unfortunately, we did not jump into the case of the 2 missing, or I'll put slice, 8 persons missing, and I'll put another slice, 3 persons, the 3 missing boys in Monrovia. We should have annexed all of these cases, but it's good that we're talking on the drug issue, because our young men and young ladies, they are catching hard time. And I had a bad experience on one of my visits home. At about 5 o'clock, coming from RRA, there was a young man here, Bob naked, so to speak. And I was telling the guy, because of the deal, I said, look ahead of you, there's somebody there standing up. He said, Papa, I see the person. I said, the person who was there. He said, oh, Papa, you think what they call it kush. Now the kush don't make the people, some of the people that be hitting their head against the horse and against the wall. We do not want to get there. And if we are there, we want to pull ourselves back. And if we must pull ourselves back, we want for these people to discontinue coming and using our country as a bridge over their troubled water to getting their stuff something. Mr. Nubo, you got 1 minute.
Okay, the Baptist preacher took 3 minutes to connect to me. And 1 minute.
Oh, Mr. Nubo.
Okay. Thank you.
The floor is yours, and you are protected, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Thanks to all the callers, and thanks to Mr. Jensen, who on short notice, I may have wanted to inform the group, but before I knew it, he was already here. So that's why I introduced and interrupted and introduced him when he got here. The drugs issue, what he pressed, that was what I was thinking, and we hearing these other laws of 2023, and then the U.S. law. No, I don't know if they went by it by the letter. If they don't do it, and tomorrow, no, we say, oh, if we had known that, no, we would have followed the law to the letter. So, no, I hope they did the right thing, but environmentally, they did the wrong thing. I don't know who advised them, even though one of the commentators said that the EPA was in attendance and burning the drugs, what we call open burning. Cannot cut it. It pollutes our environment, and it does not even destroy the substance in the drugs. I mean, you're supposed to incinerate the drugs at over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Not the one that used to incinerate their bodies now. That one is at a humane temperature, and then it has pollution control devices connected to it, and that's what they should have done. And in Liberia, maybe we can look for $5 to $10 million to get incinerator, the million ton, so that we don't pollute we don't continue to pollute our environment in the future. So that's what I wanted to add. It is good they taking care of the drugs, but at the same time, we need to care for the health and well-being of our people. Thank you.
Well, yeah, we have had a wonderful show. We want to say thank you to all of the people in the TV and radio landscape. You've been helping us, and it's because of you that we come here every day at the time set for the show. I want to thank my colleagues, the panelists. Want to thank Mr. Webb for bringing us to the people, Mr. Wright. And when we take out the devil, he becomes the RIGHT. So he wants Liberia to be on the right side of history, and precisely this government to be on the right side of history, because he was one of those people that prepared the ship of state. He and Mr. George Nubo and the former Auditor General of the Republic of Liberia. There were people on hand right there making sure that this ship will be built to save, to arrest, to ensure that things go the proper way. And I think the government of the Republic of Liberia is very, very interested in making sure that we don't make Liberia a place of transiting hallucinogenic substances, because where cocaine thrives, heroin comes. When heroin comes, morphine comes. When morphine comes, it's just like counting from one, and then all the other numbers will come. So I want to thank everybody for being on the show today. I encourage all of us to be here always. And then I took 2 points from the counselor. One was to take charge and seize other portion and needed in court. They should have taken charge and seize according to the very law, and then they can present that. And he said, how can we get or do it better? Councillor Jensen wants us to do it better, and he wants us to improve this show. I mean, in the context of that doing better, that's how we understand it. To improve this show, we encourage Councillor Jensen to please partner with us whenever possible, so that we do not wish to do the wrong thing in teaching our people. It's been a splendid show. I commend all of you, and I turn the show over to Mr. Chris B. Ware to take us home on this Thursday. Mr. Ware, your time.
Many thanks to every one of you, all of our panelists. I consider you to be, and I say, my father. Thank you so much. I appreciate your education provided to our people and even to our Chris B. Ware sitting in studio. Let me say many thanks to Mr. Wright, the host, and many thanks to you, Mr. Christopher J. Nippe. Let me say many thanks to you, Mr. George H. Numbo and J.M. Caxel. Firstly, when you came up, I was on your side, and I now have to default with you because your points were clear. So thank you so much. I salute you, and I salute every one of you. To our listeners out there, this is your program, our program, and the people program, I beg to default. One of the programs that comes your way from Monday to Saturday, providing you with information that is, credible and factual, and provide you with information, give you the platform to contribute when it comes to making the broadcast to be a successful one. We need all Liberians to take part. So folks out there would like to say, Baba, I bet you default take breaks, and it will be back to tomorrow at the same time, the same station. My name is Chris B. Ware. Thank you so much, and have a I like to say thank you so much, and have a great time. Bye bye. I bet to default take break, and you're going to be back tomorrow.
Thank you.
We ready to fight. I beg to differ.
TOP FM